and then the dreaded task of trying to figure out how to do these wings. Honestly, I haven't done a dragon video exclusively because I was terrified of trying to do the wings. Here you can see me kind of fumbling and trying to add this wide piece of green stuff onto the armature that we made. Once it's loosely in place, I use a rubber sculpting tool to attach it more firmly onto the armature, and then I repeat the process on the other wing. I then actually take a craft knife and cut away at some of the extraneous details that I'm going to cover up later with more green stuff. And after that, I can move on to my comfort zone, which is doing anatomy. For this part of the wings, I essentially just treat it the same way that I would anatomy for an arm, except that obviously there's a wing. The way that the hand is going to work is essentially each of the little prongs within the wing are fingers. As well as working on the anatomy, as the green stuff is setting, I'm making sure that I go in with the back end of my metal tool and add in the texture that we've been adding for these scales. Here you can see I try to add one of the ligaments that's inside the wing, and unfortunately I do a fairly sloppy job. I try to correct it as much as possible, but here you can see I'm just kind of screwing with it and it's not staying very straight at all. And so later on I'm going to cover up the wing with a little bit more green stuff to fix all of that. But then I repeat that whole process on the other wing. I also make sure to go over the edges of the wing with a little bit more green stuff to clean them up and add more of the scaly texture. Being a little tired and frustrated with the wings, I decided to move on to doing more anatomy, covering all of the legs with more of the same kind of anatomy that I would do for arms, especially for these front arms that we're doing here.